You know, it might happen one week. I'm sure other people will log in as always. There's I think Andy normally comes off, but whether he's away or not, I don't know.
Either Andy or Risotto.
Or his otter, yeah. Andy's otter. Actually, I saw a story this week about otter. I'll go. I'll I'll say that in a minute. Otherwise, I'll unstructure the meeting. Okay. Um, let's 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 as always, let's go around the room. Just briefly describe what we do, and tell us how you use AI, or
Mhm.
like to use AI, or is there something that you think, oh, that would be handy if we could do that? So, yeah, apart from making tea and making the beds and things, that's robotics. But it sort of task-wise work, because there are lots of tasks, isn't there, that are around, and there's well, I'll talk about sort of Gemini sort of desktop in a minute as well, because that looks quite promising, and I'm sure the others will have something very similar. So, Shirley, let's start with you.
Thank you. Good morning. I am Shirley. I work in health and wellness. I work with people who want to change their lifestyle, either because of their health or because of their finances. So I help them the solution that suits them best so that they can live the life they love. I am Shirley. I help people to look good, feel fabulous, and live well. AI and I are not friends yet. Work in progress.
It's okay. Good, excellent. Ian.
I think I know everybody. It's nice to be back in touch again after quite a long time. Been running Startup Assist UK for quite a few years now since the lockdown. Took us a year or two to work out how to get a balance between offering free advice to people and to actually then helping them set up a business and get funding and grow things after that. Uh, Probably 35% of the people who come to us with a business do not have a viable business idea. And I am old enough and ugly enough to be able to tell them that, hopefully in the nicest possible way. But it's a sad fact of this world that all these people who've got business ideas are sucked into programs, etc., spending ongoing amounts of money, and have got no chance of actually making it happen. Re-AI, I do a fair amount of posting and looking for ways to present words to other people. So I've been using ChatGPT as a complete techie Dumbo to actually produce words to do in posts for some time. So that's me.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Ian. Yeah, yeah, it's right. You got uh, as soon as you set up a business though, or a new company, or a business, the sort of vultures are circling then, aren't they? And they're constant. You get constant phone calls with for offering you different services and things, and they're all 100 quid, So they're basically getting 100 quid off you for nothing. It seemed to me anyway. So, Jane.
Hi there, Jane Chakraborty. The company is Invicta Linux. We do IT systems for small and medium-sized businesses with a strong focus on Linux and open source software. And sorry about that. That's my work phone's going. Hopefully, somebody will get it. Use AI all the time for just about everything, I think. But surprisingly, I just heard some statistics that apparently it's not changed the world as much yet as it was predicted. So, but it certainly changed my world for just about everything, I think. But it still can't make me a cup of tea, which is annoying. I'll walk the dog. There's lots of other things, lists of things that I could complain about it, but nonetheless, all very positive.
Yeah.
Shirley, sorry, but Shirley, thank you so much for the link. I'll peruse that at the weekend as well. So yeah, thank you.
Perfect. Thanks, Jane. Steffi.
Steffi Lewis, 32-year veteran web developer. I've been turning coffee into code since 1993, and I'm currently working on my third, I'll make the fingers right, third SaaS product, which is YourBot. And it is incredibly clever, even if I say so myself, because I've been working with ChatGPT and doing some vibe coding, and I've remembered things from conversations we had about 3 or 4 months ago, and I spoke to it again, and it's gone, oh yeah, do this, do that. So we've actually built an amazing chatbot system. It works, it's beautiful, it's quick, even with ChatGPT 5. And it's very easy for people to set up. So I'm targeting this for people like David. So he's web designers, multiple chatbots for websites, but also, a small business owner who just wants one chatbot for their website. How do you get it installed? It's really easy. It works well. It just does what it says on the tin, and it will be ready to launch definitely by the 1st of January, because I'm actually about 70% of the way there by now. No, it's very clever, and it starts at £4.99 a month.
Hey, that's good.
Yeah, I know.
But Steffi, can I just ask a quick question? No, I'll do that later. I'm sorry, Dave.
Oh, yeah, okay, go on.
Do you sort of have to program it yourself? In other words, if we would have it on our, Invicta Linux site, would I have to teach it all about Linux systems, with our spin on it?
Not at all. Not at all. You can just point it at some documentation online, and it'll just suck it in and read it, and then index it for you.
Mm.
Yeah. So you've got Q&As, so you can actually add your own FAQs. So you type in a question, potential questions, and type in the answer, and it's just text based. But you can also, it'll do URLs. So it'll do a single URL and just read the page. It'll do multi URLs, and it'll read the page and every single link in the same domain on that page, and then go and read those as well. And you can also bring in an RSS feed at the same time. Yeah, and the RSS feed, it will automatically update every 24 hours.
Aye.
Yes, this is all the stuff that I've been vibe coding with ChatGPT that we've built it in. So yeah, literally you could point it at the Linux manual, as long as it's a web-based structured approach. And you can just build yourself a Linux help chatbot.
Yeah.
Well clever. It is really, really clever.
I see your enthusiasm. It's brilliant.
So happy about it.
Yeah.
Danielle, are you there?
Yeah, sorry, my camera's off this morning. I'm not feeling great. I wasn't sure what to expect of this session because I've not attended one of these before. But I'm a virtual assistant, also known as a remote PA. I've got a PA background before I started working independently. And I use ChatGPT. It's good for research. It's good if I need to like compare different programs. So for instance, a client isn't sure what expense system to use, and they give me a couple of options and they want me to research the pros and cons of each. It's really good for stuff like that. AI is really good to do like research and comparisons and stuff. What else do I use it for? I think it's good like as an advisory thing. Funnily enough, my friend uses it to help her with her love life. I know it's not to do with business, but she,
Yeah, no.
like a man says something and she puts it into ChatGPT, like, what does he mean when he says this? And what does he mean that he's gone quiet and stuff like that? I just find that funny and I find it entertaining. But yeah, like I said, I'm not sure what to expect from. I've not attended one of these before, so I would like to
No.
like find out more, like with AI and the different tools, what I could use them for.
Yeah, because we sort of that's normally what we do. And I'm and using it for recreational things or for things that are not business is it's quite common. I mean, my daughter's been using it for correspondence. She's having to correspond with the sort of benefits people and getting everything in the right order and putting it across right. Sometimes you might word things that are not totally clear, and with AI you can do that. You can put your point across. Plus, it will build up. You can put in their replies, you know, their emails and their letters. You can just build up that project on your on ChatGPT or on Gemini. So you just go into that on Gemini. It's called a gem, and it's called a project on ChatGPT. But you can just have a project or a gem for each particular subject. So then you can sort of any replies you get. I do it with clients as well. So I have a gem for each individual client, and then if we've got a bit of to in and fro in, you know, I just bang in their email and it just gives me the reply, you know. So it's
Yeah.
or it explains it, breaks it down, because some people send you a giant wall of text and you can say, can you summarize this for me, you know, give me all the bullet points. So so yeah, because I've had sort of quite a complex transfer from Microsoft Exchange to just server IMAP emails, for instance, and he was asking me a lot of questions about Exchange. I don't know Exchange that well. I mean, I know what it is and I know how to set it up, but I don't know the ins and outs. And he was asking me some complex questions, and Gemini was just giving me the answers straight away, you know, sort of answers that I could understand, and it generated the email for me to send back to him. It's such a huge time saver. So so yeah. So apart from this, I do web design, and creating content is great, but there's a lot more to AI than asking questions. As Steph has alluded to, you know, there's actual practical applications, and anyone can write their own application. Shall I show you what I did this morning? Because we previously on I can't remember, was it Gemini or Claude, we created a Space Invader game. So I sort of, because ChatGPT was always rubbish at code, or I thought it was, I've asked it to create a Space Invader game, and this is ChatGPT. All I've done is in the normal chat, I said, create me an app that's the old-fashioned Space Invaders, and it's done
That's
it.
really good.
It's even got the sounds in there as well, and it should have it's even got the spaceship, but that's come out as a square. It's the first time I've played it, so I haven't. Oh, got it.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
So I shall put this on aithecoolstuff.com a bit later on. If I see if I can get the anyway, enough of that.
How long did it take to create this though? Was it seconds?
Oh yeah. About 5 minutes. It sort of goes away. I'll just stop it, and then I've had to debug it and ask it to make changes, because it did squares rather than sprites. You know, that the aliens didn't look like aliens, in other words. But you can just say, oh, I don't like that bit. Can you do it this? Can you change the color? And it'll just do it. And that script, it's just done it in HTML.
Mm.
You can just copy that. If you don't know how to do it, it's you know, you basically copy that, put it into a file, upload it to your web space, and run it. Just key it in. So if you went into your website and created a page called Space Invaders.html and just pasted this code in to replace whatever's in there, then when you went to your website /Space Invaders, it would just play that. So everyone else could enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Your labor.
All 5 minutes of it.
Yeah.
So you can so I think those, you know, obviously they're sort of recreational things and they're not sort of things, but you can create, we'll try and create something else a bit later on that's a bit more practical in terms of creating posts for you and things, you know, so you can I'll give you an examples of those. But I usually go through my newsy bits, what's happened in the world of AI. Some of them are quite funny. I sort of saw the one that the EU has thrown €1 billion at AI to avoid being America's tech colony. Europe is €1 billion doesn't sound that much compared to the numbers you see being flashed about, and but they're stumping up €1 billion for a strategic autonomy, because they're tired of begging Sam Altman for API keys. I think, I don't know, but they've unveiled an action plan, which seeks to lighten the regulatory burden and cost startups, for startups struggling to comply with AI rules, which entered into force last August, which is a problem. So the EU are crippling businesses with regulations, and we're falling behind the US because we're not getting the latest releases. We're not in the EU, but our government, for whatever reason known to themselves, have decided to follow that we should follow the EU regulations. So it's kind of a
Actually, just lobbying in something else that's happened with AI.
yeah,
People keep coming to when we talk about business ideas, and they come to us looking for funding for a new AI business. So every person and his dog, no disrespect to anybody, is saying, I've got an idea for using AI,
yeah,
and can we have some funding? And I have to quietly say, perhaps we cannot help.
yeah,
So it's created sort of potential entrepreneurs who sort of dream of doing great things with this package. But anyway, that's just another little lobbying. When I hear what is being done with the bots and what have you, that's absolutely fantastic. And I think there's great interest there. And Steffi would be interested to progress with that probably when the time's right. I mean, and really from any time now, it's something we're interested in. And if you've got a product, then because we're in touch, keen to maybe have a chat.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean the product's essentially built. It's building the framework to handle subscriptions and stuff like that, and then build my website to talk about it and the sign up process. And it's
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a lot more to building a SaaS product than just building the SaaS product. You got to build the systems around it, and I've got to integrate it into my existing platform because I've got like my dashboard, it's got all my income streams and tracking and all sorts of stuff. So I need to know all that and integrate it. So yeah, I mean the product's 90% finished.
But
But yeah,
Steffi, you've got to say when you sort of bring into the conversation things like SaaS products, the brain goes blank. Yeah. You
Well,
guys know what a SaaS product is. I haven't a clue what a SaaS product is. I'm only a humble business person.
software as a service. So anything that's accessed via a browser using a subscription, via a subscription using a browser. So QuickBooks, Xero, that's the SaaS products,
Okay.
So anything that runs on a monthly subscription is accessed via a
Well,
browser.
you've not confirmed one of my addicts that want to learn something every day. Even in my advanced years, I've now learned something today.
yeah,
Because the thing is with SaaS, if you stop paying, you lose access to it. It's as simple as that, really.
mm,
And there are all the systems I've got to build. So I need, because people sign up to the system for free and then they subscribe per chatbot. But the thing is, what happens if they don't log in and there's no access to the chatbots for 6 months? Do I then throw them out? That sort of thing, because I don't want stuff buttering up. So you've got to think about all this stuff. It's not just here's the product. Anyone can build a product. It's the building the business around it. That's the hard.
But actually, Steffi, that's the same with a business. Anybody can have a product or a business.
Yeah.
It's all the other stuff around it that makes it work.
Yeah, exactly. It's building the framework of the business around the actual product. So, I mean, like David showed, Space Invaders, he could build a game studio in 10 minutes, but how does he handle subscriptions? How does he handle the marketing? How does he handle the analysis and the tracking and stuff? That's all the extra stuff that people come to you and say, I've got this great idea for an AI, give me funding, but they don't think about the business side of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can that's the way to go with these guys. If they've got an idea, they can build it first and then get it behind some sort of paywall. But it's kind of it's
Yeah, well,
kind
actually, the thing is, most people have come to us have got an idea, but they don't know how to build it.
of right, okay.
And they come and ask for an amount of money. And when I say how much are you looking for, tongue in cheek, of course, I've absolutely no idea. But I mean, as soon as they mention the business idea in the first instance, then have to advise them that it's well, nothing we
Oh
can do to
yeah.
help.
But yeah, because if you had to pay Steffi a day rate, it would you're talking about £100 a
But
day.
it's the same when we get people come and say, I want to build an app. Exactly the same. They have an idea for an app, but have no idea of the business implications or the requirements outside that.
No, I mean, my situation is if somebody offered me funding and said, I want to give you £100 funding, the way I'm set up, I would use all of that for marketing.
Mm.
That's it. I don't need it to invest in technology
Yeah.
and stuff because everything I do is run by one person. You know, somebody threw a load of money at me, I would use it for marketing, LinkedIn advertising and stuff like that.
Mm.
Simple as that. I wouldn't use it for anything else.
Yeah.
So I don't need funding. I just need good marketing. That's all.
Because the marketing's the hardest bit, isn't it, for
Mm.
most of our businesses? Because we all know, well, we know what we're doing because we've been around a while. But I mean, some of the younger guys maybe lacking experience, but it's how you reach the market is always the biggest problem. You know, I mean, how does
Oh, totally. How do you do it? Well, I'm going to be doing it through cold outreach to web designers. That's, you know, I'm going to be sending them regular emails, but also sharing on Facebook, sharing on Twitter, going networking and talking about it. There's all these things I can do. But the beautiful thing about it is if David comes along and signs up for it, I mean, you're beta testing, so it doesn't really apply to you. But if a web designer signs up to it and goes, this is great, they're going to use it on every single one of their clients' websites. So if you get a design agency who signs up to have a look at it and they've got 500 clients, they could then assign it across 500 clients and I've got 500 subscriptions. You know, so it's great. And also you choose the different level of subscriptions based on how many requests you think there'll be for a month. So if it's a small business owner and they're only going to get 2 or 3 conversations a month using it, they sign up for the lowest one. But, and you know, Jane, if you know, it doesn't matter how many conversations you're going to have. It's all about, because the way I've written it, it doesn't matter on the size of your chatbot. It matters on how many requests you get, and that's how you subscribe to it. Because I've written it so that it drills into the data. It doesn't send the whole thing to ChatGPT. Just sends the relevant data.
Yeah. And relatively speaking, your chatbots are going to be cheaper than they used. You know, like if you go back 2 or 3 years, where you had to do giant flowcharts to create a chatbot. You know, it's going to be.
Well,
it's going to be. There are so many advantages now. You know.
So I was using Chatbase when I first started thinking about chatbots, and I didn't like paying $14.99, but they put all the pricing up, and it was about 30 quid for 2 chatbots, you know, and I was a bit annoyed about that. I mean, I didn't pay that because I was on legacy pricing, but it just occurred to me is that everybody structures their pricing for corporate, for enterprise, you know, and I'm just like, small business owners. I've always worked with small business owners. So small web designers, small companies who want one chatbot for 2 or 3 conversations a week, maybe. $4.99. Why do they need more than that? Because the way I've written it, we're not sending the entire database. So Jane, you could set up a Linux manual on there, you know, if you wanted to, but it's only going to send 5 or 10 of the relevant conversations, the relevant pages that it finds the question on. You know, so it's not about the database size with my chatbot. It's about how many requests you're going to get, and that's the difference between every other chatbot system I've seen and mine.
Yeah. Can't wait. So
Oh, you're going to love it, David. It's so bloody easy. You can set up Dombot again.
Yeah. Excellent. So, we talking about sort of wanting money to start up. Sam Altman, if you don't know, I'll explain. Is the CEO of OpenAI. It runs ChatGPT. He's done deals committing OpenAI to $1 trillion in compute. Right, that's a trillion.
Crazy.
And
Absolutely nutty.
so OpenAI is apparently trying to buy up all the GPUs. This is the processing power before anyone else can. It's like holding toilet paper in 2020, you know. It's like going out and buying all the bog rolls, which is exactly what he's doing. But for they're envisaging AGI, and that needs a lot of computing power. AGI is like the next level up, where
well, they're actually talking about the level after that. So AGI is artificial general intelligence, but they're now talking about artificial super intelligence,
right.
which is quite interesting.
Yeah.
OpenAI have got deals with NVIDIA to get all the GPUs, but they've also signed a deal with AMD now
That's
to get
right.
the chips as well. So it's really getting interesting now.
Yeah, yeah, because Nvidia was a bit miffed because they've invested in OpenAI, but OpenAI have invested in AMD. So I mean, it's
But we are getting an OpenAI data center in the UK.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's really going to speed things up in the UK.
And AMD are a chip manufacturer. They make the memory chips.
What's the difference between NVIDIA and AMD then? Sorry, David.
Yeah, the process.
NVIDIA are graphics cards,
Oh,
and AMD are actually motherboard chipsets.
oh.
So the actual CPU is an AMD, but the GPU is NVIDIA.
So you'd need both in any case, in any system, wouldn't you? The graphics and the
Yeah, so a graphics card is normally an external card, but you can now get motherboards in servers that you can just plug a CPU and plug in the GPU. And because they're really close to each other, you've got less distance to travel with the data. But AMD have actually created is it the 3DX, David?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a CPU that's got the graphics card built into it. And I don't know whether it's NVIDIA tech in it, but the actual chip itself is a CPU and a GPU and an NPU, which is the neural processing part for AI, and they're all on the same chip. So because they're all on the same chip, there's no external resistance through IDE channels and stuff. It's all there, and they're all talking to each other. So that's where the tech's going on servers anyway.
Yeah, yeah. And then you've got the okay, so you've got the brain and the the thinking bit, and then you need the nervous system, and that's there's another company called Cisco that does communications and puts in lots and lots of wires, and it's because your data center, they can be thousands of miles apart that build one. You got one mega computer from data centers that are thousands of miles apart. And so you've got so that's something that Cisco is specializing in. So the sort of AI models are so bloated that they need multiple data centers just to think. So Cisco sell the cables for the Frankenstein monster. So
yeah, it's the transmission link between the data centers that Cisco are interested in.
yeah,
I mean, you can get terabyte links now. They're
yeah,
absolutely incredibly fast.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, you need something pretty fast. And there's anyway, so OpenAI's turnover was only 4.5 billion in the first 6 months. So that's
Only.
way short of a trillion. So I don't know
bless them.
I don't know what they're thinking, but I don't understand this stuff. This money stuff is a bit beyond me, but it just makes me think this is the stuff crashes are made of, you know.
Yeah.
There is talk about a bubble,
Yeah.
another tech bubble with AI.
Yeah, yeah.
Jimmy, can I lob in an AI question, please?
Yeah, go on.
Before we're going to go, how can we use AI to identify more prospects?
Okay. There's this is where are the prospects? So you just from the web.
Okay, I'm just lobbying a question
Yeah.
that a lot of new business people or people
Okay.
inexperienced this
Okay.
will be
Like
asking.
Steffi's got a product, for instance, that scrapes the web, scrapes Google, gets all the information, sticks it all in a spreadsheet or in a CRM.
CRM.
And then you can email those businesses, or you can phone them, or you can whatever.
Okay, may I be specific before I drop off? I'm specifically interested in making contact with businesses that have started up in the last probably 6 to 9 months. The people who are thinking of starting a business don't appear anywhere, but anybody who started a business in the last 6 months, interested in that, know the information is available in things like Companies House, and one can get it, but can't get it in the format and with the details that we're actually interested in.
Can't do it. Companies House, I've played with the API, and I mentioned this to you yesterday, Ian, is the API has the data, but to link it out to the real world is impossible because the company name is usually completely irrelevant for the website name.
Yeah.
So 123 Limited on Companies House could be steffilewis.com.
Yeah.
There's
Okay,
no way.
Steffi, I understand that, but it's okay. So that channel doesn't work. Where else is one? I mean, there's only 1 million startups in the UK every year. Now, probably a third of those are not viable or they don't actually start. But you're probably talking about 750,000 businesses starting up every year. How can one get details of those with
There
the
are
information on
companies.
that? Hmm?
There are companies who provide those lists.
Yeah,
There
no,
are, but
I've
there's a
used some.
company.
Anyway, I'm
There's a
just
company
asking
in
where.
Milton Keynes. There's a company in Milton Keynes that do just that, and they send a startup pack to every new business that comes up, and it has adverts for accountants and for
Yeah,
this
yeah.
and the other. I know
Yeah, but
that.
okay. Hey, I'm only asking the question. I
Yeah.
know they exist. I know they charge money. I've used some of them. I've been given lists, by the companies. I'm interested to know how I can deal with people directly. That's the question.
I don't think you can get it direct.
Sorry?
I don't think you can get it direct. You'd have to speak to one of those companies.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know where they get their data from. So I mean, but
Well, there's Credit Safe.
No, excuse me. Hang on. I'm only, we're on an AI call. I know about all those. I've tried them. I've used them. I know how they work. Don't work. I'm just an open question. Can AI help to progress on this particular subject? And throwing it out. If it's not possible, okay, I've asked the question.
we'll have a look and see if we can find a way because a lot of people would be interested in startups, aren't they? So I mean, it's
Oh, if I could figure out how to do it, I'd do it. Trust me.
yeah.
It'd be an AI Steffi project. Your data.
Yeah, because usually they have to, you have to be a bit careful about privacy as well now, don't you? But I mean, but if someone's on Yell or they're on, they're advertising themselves as a business, let's say like the information that Steffi scrapes in, it's kind of it's out there. People want to be found, so they're actually
Yeah.
putting their stuff out there. But I mean,
Right. Having asked my question, and nice to meet everybody. First time you've been back in this, Danielle. I'm the first time back in this as well. Look forward to catching up with you later. David, thanks very much, and look forward to plugging in again next week.
all right, okay, all right, okay.
Thanks, everybody. Bye for now.
Cheers, Ian. Bye bye.
Bye bye. I mean, so we had the other one was where am I? I've lost my thing. Oh yeah, I told an Emo Phillips joke a couple of weeks ago, or it might have been yesterday. I can't remember now. Where he said, "I asked God for a bike, but I realised that God doesn't work that way, so I stole a bike and asked for forgiveness." And that's the way the sort of Hollywood and Bollywood have united again. This is a Reuters story saying that they've united against AI training on their content without paying. Which is good luck with that because AI companies just train their bots anyway on your data and pay the fines later, you know. So
Mm.
it's sort of
It's better to ask for forgiveness and permission, isn't it?
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people are going to say no for permission.
Oh, by the way, Trump didn't get the Peace Prize this year.
Oh, didn't he?
No, what a shame.
What a surprise as well.
Yeah.
A load of lefty do-gooders have decided that he shouldn't get the Peace Prize.
It was, funnily enough, it was awarded to a Venezuelan politician.
Oh, right, really?
And he hates Venezuela at the moment.
And have you managed to use Sora? I've not managed to get into Sora yet. It's not available in this country.
No, I keep looking on the App Store, on the Apple App Store. It's not available in the UK yet, which is a real
It's
shame.
not available anywhere. You've still got the old one, which is
But it is available in the API, so I have a plan.
right.
So I share blog posts onto social media. So I create an image, and the image appears in the blog post, but I also use it to share on social media. What I want to do with Sora is to send the image for the blog post to the API and get it to animate it, so it becomes like the coffee, the steam on the coffee, or the guy's tapping on his pad, and it's just a short 10-second loop, and then display that on the blog post. So the image will display on social media. The actual video that created by Sora will display on the blog post.
Okay, is that cost effective? Because Sora's
Don't know yet. I need to play with it.
how many tokens it gobbles up for each.
Yeah, I can imagine it gobbles up. But the thing is, I've got a top-up subscription with the APIs. So
Yeah.
when I run out of credits, it just tops it up again. So I'm just like, okay.
Just grabs the money out of your bank account and tops itself up.
Well, yeah, I'm normally paying about 30 quid a month in top-up fees at the moment.
That's not too bad, is it?
Not that bad.
It depends how much is being used, but I mean,
Yeah.
and chat. I don't know if you saw ChatGPT can connect up to two apps. Again, not in this country, but it will be soon. Hopefully soon, because I'm quite interested in the Canva link, because you can just describe, if you're not very good at creating stuff on Canva, so if you wanted to create an A4 poster about your latest products or about your church fete or whatever it is, you'll be able to just pull in Canva, just key in all you do in the chat, key in Canva, and the app pops up, and then you just say, can you create? The first time you do it, it'll ask you to log into Canva sort of via ChatGPT, but after that it'll be permanently connected, and then you just say create this leaflet, and you can be as descriptive or give it a bit of latitude, whatever you want, or you can upload your own images to include and everything. So it sounds pretty good. The other side of that is that it's going to be connected up to Uber and things like that, so you can buy stuff via ChatGPT, which is
dangerous.
Sam Altman's master plan is to become the middleman for everything. So you'll be so he can it's so that they can get like a little tiny bit, a little tiny portion of billions of transactions. It can turn out to be quite lucrative. So if they can get a cut of every transaction on the internet, it's the way they can stump up the $1 trillion, I guess, on the compute that they need to build the data centers.
There's a really interesting story about Sam Altman and Johnny Ives. Do you know who Johnny Ives is?
Yeah, the Apple guy.
Yeah, so he basically designed the iPhone for Steve Jobs and the iPad and stuff like that. But he's now working. He left Apple. He's now working with Sam Altman to create something for OpenAI. And they've spent $1 billion on it so far, and they haven't figured out what they want. Well, what format should it be in? Because do we want to create just another smartphone, or what's the next iteration beyond the smartphone? That's what they're trying to figure out, because they can make it work. They've got all the tech to do it. But it's like, is it just a device with a camera and voice access, or is it going to have a hologram on it, or is it just a credit card you talk to? So that's where they're at the moment. They're just trying to figure out what they want.
Yeah.
They've spent $1 billion trying to figure out what they want.
But actually, that's nothing really in these days. You were just talking about a trillion, billion, or whatever. It seems
Yeah.
extreme. But don't you think implants are going to be around shortly, aren't they?
Would you
Definitely.
want a robot arm?
Yeah, I wouldn't
I
mind.
think we will get a Neuralink eventually. I think, you know, you'll have a quick op. There'll be a little, not a port in your background, but it'll be something that you just switch it on and off and you connect it to the internet. I would totally do that.
The
Mm.
I
Chinese
would,
have already
but
got some. I was watching
They
something
wouldn't.
there was a YouTube video on Shenzhen and that they actually had a thing fitted to the head and they were controlling things on the table going left and right just by I don't know how they were doing it, but he was this guy
well, imagine
he was
you
trying
can
to
imagine I'm sitting on my sofa, I'm sitting on a train, I just close my eyes and there's all my computer monitors and I think about typing and I'm actually typing. You know, there's a keyboard in front of me, there's virtual hands happening. So as I'm typing and I'm moving a mouse around and I'm doing all sorts of things. And if I can do that when I close my eyes, I just switch it on and I can sit there and do that. That'd be absolutely amazing. Switch it off again and I'm back to reality. That to me is like totally worth it. And I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll do that totally.
Mind you, I think people are thinking the government will be controlling your thoughts by this little
Yes.
head, you
Well,
know.
they're not already.
Yeah. But they were talking about that with the restrictions, you know, and apparently we're far more, I mean, becoming more so as well, with the restrictions just about everywhere, whereas America hasn't, I think, got quite so bad. But I think that might, when you think about what the HTML and everything else was, it was free, open to everyone, you know, and now we're just banging, you know,
Technology,
yeah, it's we got to think about that quite carefully, I think, but of course we never do.
because I mean, there's and Google have brought out or they're bringing out now. Oh, they've already brought it out in America again. Is agentic shopping. So if you're looking for it's more specific. You can be very specific. So say if you wanted a tennis shoe under $80 or something, this is in obviously in America, it can find it for you just as easy as you do Google searches now. So I can see like some good one like sit around and buy these pop concert tickets as soon as they come out, because they're not out right now, but they're going to be released sometime in the next couple of weeks. You're not quite sure when. So then you could say buy these as soon as they become available. I can see that being kind of popular, but I mean, would you want it to buy you something? Would you trust it to buy you something if it had free reign and access to your credit card?
It is interesting, isn't it? I've got ChatGPT actually sends me a couple of emails every Monday morning, and it was its suggestion that it did it, which I just thought was really cool. So I get it to look for negative views of negative stuff about me on the internet, and then positive stuff about me on the internet, and it sends me 2 separate emails. And it knows that if it's emailed me before with stuff, it doesn't. It's really clever. And it suggested it to me. It said, would you like me to email you every week? I'm like, oh, all right. He said, okay, well, I'll do a search at 8 a.m. on a Monday morning for you.
Yeah.
I said, well, that's amazing. Thank you very much. I just get an email every Monday morning, or 2 emails every Monday morning from it. So the fact that it's already doing stuff.
If you were going to book a flight and say, I'll buy that flight as soon as it drops under 300 quid.
Yeah.
If everyone's using the same thing, it's never.
Yeah.
Well, you just say, tell me, scan it every morning and tell me when it drops under 300 quid. It'll go, all right, and it'll send you an email.
Yeah.
Finds it less.
I mean, that is less dangerous, isn't it, than actually going ahead and buying the ticket for you,
Well, yeah.
That's
the next
equivalent
step,
of Garuda Airlines is on.
Yeah, I don't know if I trust myself any more than I'd trust an AI to do that for me, though. I can make some really tragic shopping mistakes, and perhaps I don't know. It's interesting.
You're going to fly to Australia and it says you've got to go to Halifax, and 2 days later you go to Phoenix, and then 2 days later you get one to.
Yeah.
That one wasn't what I wanted. There's yeah, that was Gemini. Gemini 2.5, again, something else we haven't got, I really want is your computer. You can teach it to use your computer. So if you've got repetitive tasks, you can share your desktop, show it what you want it to do, and then it'll just do it for you in future times.
Cool.
So I think that's probably
How do you share your desktop?
it's just in Gemini. There's
Oh,
when you go to Gemini, you just click on share. You can either input your video and talk to it, or show it things, or you can say share my desktop. So
Surely you've got to have the Gemini app on your computer to be able to do that.
yeah. It's you can use the browser apparently, and it will just.
I don't know. Browsers are pretty sandbox these days.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a demo I saw on YouTube as he was doing it. He was just clicking on the browser, and it was just using there was a plugin on the browser, and it was just looking at the whole desktop, but then using the UI, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, and there's a company called EY. I've seen it a few times on Reuters. I thought, who is it, EY? And it's Ernst and Young. They've just changed their name to something a bit more trendy. But they said that every single company they looked at about 1,500 companies worth over $1 billion each, and every single one of them has lost money when they were when they first deploy AI because of flawed outputs. So I don't know what I think that means, that AI lied to them. I don't know. Turns out that replacing humans with hallucinating robots has some downsides.
Who'd have thought, eh?
Who'd have thought that? Yeah. So it's yeah. So this camera magic. Yeah. There's there's like multi-part questions you can ask Google, and they've got something called Magic Camera that they're trialing in India. You can point your phone at stuff, ask questions, get answers. There is a sort of a thing there already that does that, but you can use multi-part complicated questions, and it's been criticized because it's drastically reduced the people using this system. They've drastically reduced using Google search, so it's going to affect people's websites. Google have kind of brushed it under the carpet because it seems to a lot of people they're becoming an AI company rather than a search company.
I don't use the search results now. I will type a question into Google, the answer will come up in the AI part at the top, and I go, yeah, right, thanks. Whereas before I would trawl through all the links looking for something. It's like Stack Overflow. I used to always go there to look for code snippets and trawl through conversations, trying to find the right thing to do. I just ask ChatGPT now. It writes the whole bloody thing for me.
Yeah.
And people like Stack Overflow have actually reported that the traffic is massively down since Google put an AI at the top of the page.
Yeah, they all have. The only person that's denied it is Google. They would, because they want to keep both worlds going at the moment, because they've not,
Yeah, and everyone's still shouting about, oh, SEO, Google, got to rank highly in Google. Well, it's completely irrelevant now.
Yeah.
You got to rank highly in the AI bit, because that's all people are looking at.
Yeah.
That's why I built
exactly.
FAQ.
And that takes a lot of hard work. I mean, you're going to have to position yourself as an expert, and I know you're still going to get people that know you, that you speak to, that you refer to your website, and they find out more about you and decide whether they want to work with you or not. And I understand that. So the website's still kind of important.
Still important, but the SEO ranking isn't.
Exactly.
And I'll give an example. In Google Webmaster, because I built all the FAQs as structured data into my blog post, Google is now indexing the FAQs. So if somebody asks a question that's relevant to one of my FAQs, it's going to show either the answer in the top AI part with a link to my page, or it will rank my pages higher because it was featured in the question. So FAQ, structured data, is like massively important now on AI search.
So I mean, I know there are local examples where that wouldn't be so. Like if you're searching for a gym in Milton Keynes, for instance, and then it would come up with a list, and you would click onto the website to see if they're offering what you want. So there are kind of some differences, but some things. But I think a lot of the time, general searches, and if you're not super local or you're not local, but that's going to be a real issue. So there's Otter AI, we just mentioned before. What did I write about that? Yeah, they had a conference thing on. It was live on YouTube a few days ago, and they want to evolve from a meeting transcriber to a corporate memory bank. They're targeted at enterprise sort of size businesses, but they say the sort of meetings are where the majority of information is stored. People have meetings, they talk to each other, they take decisions that then the rest of the company don't know about. So it's said it's inefficient because of information silos. Whereas if all of the chat was transcribed, turned into informational data, and then stored in a central location, that would be more efficient for businesses. So people obviously have to be informed that their data has been used like that for their particular meeting, and so you've got to have a permission system. But that's what they've already introduced it. So it's the meetings can be like the corporate wide knowledge. So if decisions are taken at a meeting, it's sort of known. So
Bye, Shirley.
Hi, Sherry.
and there's Square. Do you still use Square? Because they're
What, the payment system? Yeah, but your bot is going to use Stripe.
Yeah. I think I use Stripe, but I mean, Square is doing a voice assistant for restaurants.
Yeah, I like Square, but it's not for dynamic subscriptions. So your PCM's fine, Splogit is fine, but for your bot, because you can change your rate limits and stuff based on the subscription, I need something more dynamic. So I'm going to use Stripe for that.
Because they're introducing voice assistants just for taking orders on the phone for restaurants, and then making money at the same time. So even minimum wage jobs are getting automated.
Yeah. Wow.
Robots are coming for everything.
I suppose the chances for mistakes with that system is equal, both with the minimum wage person taking the order or the bot taking the order.
It's the same. You've got a website with a menu on it, and you can place your order through a website or through an app. Then if people want to phone you, you can chat to the AI, and it will do exactly the same thing. I think it's a good thing. As long as you get your order right and all your details of where you live and stuff.
Yeah, I think so. And there's a one thing I was going to look at, which we're not going to, is Google. Where we do the AI studio, because you can create your own apps on there, and it's quite impressive, because they keep improving it and adding things. And so I was thinking, if you wanted to create an image and create social media posts, it'll do it all for you just by clicking on a button, and it will create like an Instagram post, and then it will create a different post for Facebook and a different post for LinkedIn. So it's you could write that using Nano Banana, and just getting that.
I'm going to play with ChatGPT Image Mini this weekend.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a smaller, cheaper, less quality version of my blog post image creator.
Yeah. Because I was trying to create an image of rustic handmade soaps, and in a thing, and it does a pretty good job actually. So it's I think
As long
it's
as you tell it precisely what you want, you
yeah,
get a good
yeah.
image. I
I
mean,
think
for a
it's
blog post, I sometimes get it first time because I've got my image prompt framework. So before I create the image, I tell it to read the words of the blog post, and then this is the structure I want. So I've got this built in, and it always comes up with subject, setting, lighting, extra details. And sometimes it's spot on, but other times, oh, I don't want it to be a boy, I want it to be a girl, for example, so I have to go through and change pronouns and stuff like that. Or I want it to be in the autumn. So because it's often set at home because we're all small businesses. So outside the window is a lush garden. Well, I just add the word autumn in there and it'll turn all the leaves yellow, that sort of thing. And then I'll create an image. But it doesn't take me more than 3 goes to get the perfect image,
no, no.
which is quite cool.
It
Yeah.
is, yeah, yeah. It's all about the prompting, isn't it?
But it does cost me 16p an image.
Yeah,
That's the thing. So, or is it £1.60? I can't remember. So this is why I want to experiment with GPT Image Mini because it's like a tenth of the price.
because you're wedded to OpenAI, aren't you? So it's difficult, like to put in. They like
Yeah, I'm perfectly happy with OpenAI. When the dot-com bubble burst, sorry, when the AI bubble burst, OpenAI will be a survivor. There's no two ways about it. They're too big now.
Mm.
So.
But
What did you create your backdrop with your Halloween backdrop, David, with?
it's a good question. Kling, I think, or it could have been Google.
You got rid of the animated ones.
Yeah, because this it changed. It was saying Thursday 10 a.m. when it came when she walked across. I didn't notice to start with, and I realised. So I've gone back to this one, and although I did one I created on VO, which is Google, I did that one. There's
Oh, that's cool.
except it spelled Thursdays wrong. So I mean, it's got an E in it. So I mean, but I quite like that one, So I mean, it's pretty much how I described it.
And also, my OCD says speed networking should be on the left.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah. And
I agree.
and I did the witches and wizards. So there's I was doing that one as well. That was part of a video where the witches are fighting the wizards, and then the wizard lands in the town square with his hat on fire and things, and it worked out pretty good actually. But
Are you doing any more Copper's Knob soon?
yeah, I will. I'm just it takes me. I've had so much other things to do.
I love your Copper's Knob stuff. It's
Yeah.
great. World building, David.
Yeah. But that was kind of an idea for Copper's Knob was the witches and wizards having a fight in like a dog fight, him with a mechanical dragon and then with their broomsticks and
Needs to be farting steam out if it's steampunk.
yeah, well, that's right. Yeah. So
oh, there you go. There you go.
okay, all right then. Thanks for coming along today. Thanks for staying. Nobody else did. But we'll do a bit of demoing next week because I've run out of, I don't know. I seem to.
Yeah, I'm happy to demo your bot.
Yeah, do that. Yeah.
It'll be good enough to demo next week.
Yeah, great stuff. Yeah.
I'm interested in that as well. It'll be wonderful to see how it's going. Like you said, you've more or less finished the bot. It's just everything else you got to do.
Got to build the history, and then the URL ingester because it only ingests one level down. James' idea, it just occurred to me, I actually need to ingest an entire website. you know, so then you could do your Linux manual as long as it's online. So yeah, anyway,
Sounds good.
thanks for
That's
that, dear
great.
Jane.
You're more than welcome.
Yeah.
I wish I'd thought through it really carefully first and then, you know.